You are now dialed in with the Dial Brothers.
Y'all, it is episode 24 of the Dialed In Show. We had a little week off on last week, but we're going to talk about it. We really weren't trying to take a week off. It was
Right.
just
We planned a show for you guys. The upload speed in the middle of the ocean was not that great. We tried to upload an episode for like 10 hours.
I was going to say, well, yeah, maybe 10
Well, it
more.
might have
Really.
been
I was
more
going to
than
say,
10 hours.
yeah, I was going to say it was over 12, had to be.
Yeah, I'm messing with my light over here. Yeah, so we tried. So this should have been episode 25, but whatever.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm still proud of us because we really did record an episode last week.
We did. We did.
Yeah, so it's not like we, took a week off. It's just we recorded an episode on the balcony of our I would say hotel. Of the cruise ship. But we're gonna talk about it. I'm sure a lot of people have been asking you, did you enjoy the trip? How was it? Did you like the Bahamas? Did you like Mexico? Did you like Royal Caribbean? What did you do on the ship? What did you do when you got off the ship? A million questions. And I've just been telling everybody, just wait till Wednesday and we'll talk about it on Wednesday.
Well, I'm a Royal Caribbean regular now, so I should ask you, what did you think of? I mean, this was your first cruise. Micah got so mad at me. People like knowing, have you been on cruises before? What number cruise is this? Micah was like, can you please stop telling people this is my first cruise?
Yeah,
So
everybody
we would be in a restaurant and they say, is this your first time? No, it's not my first time. It's yours.
Everybody we meet, Steven saying, this is first cruise. This is first cruise. I'm like, dang.
You don't know what you might get for saying this is your first cruise.
Well, let's walk through it. Let's go day by day from the very beginning. Let's go all the way back to last Sunday.
Okay.
I'm in Atlanta. You're in Dallas.
Yep.
I guess you watch church online. But I was in church. But you had a busy weekend. That weekend.
Oh yeah.
So leave here, go to the airport. In my opinion, and I don't travel as much as Steven does, but in the last year or two, I've traveled far more than I ever have before. This is just my opinion. Not because I live here, not because it's the busiest, not even necessarily because it's one of the largest. I don't think Atlanta's the largest airport in the country.
It depends on what you consider the largest. I think I know what you're about to say. Go ahead.
But it is the best. Now, it has its issues, it has its challenges, because when I went that Sunday, trying to get through TSA or even to get to TSA was ridiculous. It was crazy.
But that was because we were leaving right after a holiday too. You were leaving when a lot of people were heading back home.
And the way that they did it, and I don't know the reason for this. If you are familiar with the Atlanta airport, I flew Delta, which we're gonna talk about. I flew Delta, and so Delta has its own side of the airport.
Yeah.
But they were funneling all of us to the other side of the airport to go through TSA. Unless you had clear or pre.
I mean, you can go through any side, any TSA, but I get what you're saying. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it was that was horrible. But I ended my fast because the week before we went on trip, the church was fasting, and
terrible
timing. Yeah, there was a nice restaurant in the airport, so that was cool. So Steven arrives in Miami before me, which was a good thing because I guess I got to the airport too early. They sent my bag to Miami ahead of me, so my bag wasn't.
I don't like checking bags.
My bag wasn't on my
flight.
Why
would the bag be on a different flight? That makes no sense.
Which I'm gonna bring that up again when we talk about this past Saturday's experience in Miami. If you don't have to fly through Miami, because there's two issues, but we'll get to it. But if you don't have to fly through Miami, don't do it. It's horrible. So Steven was able to get my bag, which, let's point this out. This is my issue number one. Steven should not have been allowed to get my bag.
I said my brother, and I showed the confirmation number that you screenshot to me. So for all she knows, she ignored the brother part and just thought I was saying my bag.
Y'all better hope y'all stuff don't get stolen in these airports. Mind you, this is the Miami airport we're talking about.
A
That that
large
gave
airport.
that gave someone else my bag. There's someone else was Steven, but I'm still
Mhm.
like they just gave you my bag. So I finally get there. We get in the Uber, go to hotel because we spent the night in Miami the night before the cruise.
Mhm.
Then what we do? Got some food. Then it was time to go. So we spent the night, wake up Monday morning.
Oh, and then you got frustrated. The word is frustrated, but you got
Uh-huh.
frustrated. Micah apparently has never been in a hotel where you use your hotel
Man,
key to get on the elevator to get to your floor. And Micah had a digital key, so you got a little frustrated because it was not working.
listen, I am uh, a big Hilton hotel fan, and it doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily have to be Hilton, but hotels that are owned by Hilton.
Yeah,
Okay, so whenever I get a room somewhere, I always book it through my Hilton app. Blah 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 blah. Okay,
yeah,
9 times out of 10, I rarely go to the front desk because I check in through my phone. I
which
have
is
the
good.
key on my phone. Cool. We get on this doggone elevator now. Pause. I've heard of this before, but I've never been in a hotel that did it.
Hmm.
So, and we were staying at one of my favorite affordable hotels. It's called True, TRU. Get on the elevator, and this thing ain't really working. And Steven's saying you got to use your key to make
Hmm.
the elevator work. And I'm like,
Right.
what? Like, that's crazy. So, on the elevator, my like reception kept going out. And so the digital key wasn't working. And Steven was like, well, we didn't go to the front desk to get a key. And I kept saying, I don't want to go to the front desk. I want to use my digital key. We ended up going to the front desk. Tell them about this woman at the front desk who this is Sunday night in Miami.
We go to the front desk, and did I ever say my name? I don't know, but she asked for your ID to get a
Mhm.
key, and she grabbed Micah's ID, and she looked, and she said, and she was looking
And
at your name.
then she said, Micah. And then Steven started laughing, and then she
Yes,
said, what you laughing for?
I'm like, I'm laughing at you.
It's
She
like,
said, Micah.
Yeah, I want. Well, this is a family show. I can't say what I want to say. I want to say, what's your name?
What
And
was
I
her
couldn't
name?
pronounce it because it was on her name tag, but I couldn't pronounce it. And it's like she kind of ticked me off a little
Yeah, she
bit.
said Micah. So yeah, so we got on the elevator, we went to bed. Then we got in the Uber on Monday morning, headed to the port of Miami to get on our ship. Micah, what was your were you nervous about to go on the ship? Were you excited? What was your feelings about getting ready to embark on the trip?
Not necessarily nervous, but it was. First of all, something that's amazing to me in Miami, or I word it this way: cities that are near water or near the beaches, the ocean, are a little bit different. But it amazes me how you can go to different places in the United States and the cities are completely different.
Mhm.
Like stuff's just
That's what
com-
makes cities unique.
yeah, stuff's just completely different. So this is my first time in Miami. So driving around Miami, I mean the road. I'm not just talking about Miami and Atlanta. I'm talking about every city. Like the roads are different. The street lights are different.
Mhm.
Everything's just different. So it was okay. It was kind of cool going through there. No lie. When we got to the port, it was a little bit not intimidating, as in like I was scared. But you see
It was
these
a
big ships.
rush.
Yeah, you see these big ships, which I've never seen one in person before. See these
Mhm.
big ships, and then you see what, no lie, probably was thousands of people
Yeah.
outside. And so
Mhm.
it was just like, oh my God. Like this was, and I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting to it was basically like an airport, but for boats.
Mhm. Yep.
But I wasn't expecting to see so many other people for other ships that like weren't going with us.
Mhm.
That I wasn't expecting. I don't know why I thought it was just gonna be those who was getting on our ship.
Yeah.
But um our ship was, if not the last one in line, it was
Mhm.
further down the line. And I'm not gonna go in detail in this, but
Why not?
as I saw
Why
the
not?
people who were outside, I was like, "Oh,
You just
wow,
saw different groups of people getting on different ships.
yeah."
I-
People
I'll
of
I'll
which
say it politically for you.
yeah,
You just saw
people of
different
which I
people.
don't know that I wanted to be in the middle of the ocean with for 5 days. And I was just like, man, this is about to be interesting. But then when we got to our ship,
Mhm.
um,
The process
it
was
was
really smooth.
yeah, yeah. It was cool. People were super, super nice, which we can talk about that in a minute too, about how entering was very different than exiting
Yeah.
the ship. But it was cool. Monday was a chill day. We had to wait a little bit for the room to get ready.
Mhm.
Get to the room. Now, before we went on this cruise, I watched a lot of videos about how cruises work and all this other kind of stuff. The safety lesson thing
Mhm.
was different than all the videos that I watched. The Stephen half watched the video on the app and said that we watched it.
I watched it. You didn't even watch it. So why
And
you trying to call me out?
no,
I clicked
that,
that
that
you
really
watched it.
no, that really wasn't like a trying to call you out. I was
Mhm.
really just saying like we didn't really watch the safety video. Or at least I didn't. I didn't watch the safety video.
Okay, clean it up.
So
Thank you.
then we get on the ship and this young tall woman she basically was like she talked to Steven, she was like, well, you've been on here before, whatever. She was like, I'm not about to go through all this stuff. And she said, you just if ship go down, you come back right here. And that was it. So they took our bags, and so the bags were gonna be back at the room.
Mhm.
We get to the room, no bags.
Yeah, that's not shocking.
But then there's a knock at the door. Arsen, I don't know how you say his name. We never really talked to him. At least I never really talked to him.
Yeah,
Who was our
room attendant. Or just
yeah.
I don't know the exact name.
He comes with a bag, and it's not my bag. It's
It's my
Steven's
bag.
bag.
Yeah,
Okay.
Micah had
So
bag issues
yeah.
all
So
trip.
so my bag in the airport went ahead of me, so it wasn't on the flight with me. My bag on the ship took a minute. Like it was not, it didn't come when Steven's bag came.
Mhm.
So that was interesting. What did we do? Because a couple times we went to like the whatever show or whatever they had the first every night. Did we go to something that Monday night? I can't
Yeah, it was a
remember.
comedy show.
That was on the first night?
Mhm. I'm pretty
Oh.
sure. Yeah. Mhm.
He
Yeah.
was funny.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I think that was the first night because I'm thinking about stuff he was saying about the Bahamas, the perfect day at Coco K.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that was cool. That was cool. Monday was chill day. Monday was chill day. Me and Steven, we had a specialty dining package, and so we were able to go and eat at they had three like special restaurants on the ship. One was Chops Grill, another one was Italian restaurant, and the other one was a like a hibachi restaurant. We went every day. Well,
Yeah,
not to the hibachi. We only did that once.
that was fun.
Um, yeah, me and old girl next to me, we couldn't catch the egg.
Y'all were
But
the
yeah,
only
it
ones
was
who
fun.
failed.
Yeah. So what about Tuesday? Tuesday we went to Bahamas.
Yeah. So we just relaxed. Micah didn't want to get in the water. Micah just wanted to lay on the chair the whole time
We didn't go swimming, but I got in the water.
for 10 seconds.
It was longer than 10 seconds.
Okay.
I was enjoying just laying there, relaxing. There was a nice older black couple that was next to us, and it was cool. Listen, they had these outdoor showers for you to like rinse the sand and stuff off of you.
Yeah.
So we had sand on our feet. When I tell you, it was like a thing with like 4 shower heads on
Mhm.
it. These girls, there's some teenage girls. They was out there. I mean, not literally, but they
No,
was out there
like,
taking a bath.
yeah. We were waiting and waiting. I said, let's just go. We can wash our feet off on the ship. Like, I was tired of
Man,
waiting. It was
I
probably
mean,
another one somewhere else, but yeah.
like washing their hair, like legit. they watched everything as
We
much
stood
as you
there for
could
like 10 minutes.
with a bikini on. Like
Yeah.
they was like it's like, oh my goodness, what are you doing? But that was cool. Um, there were a lot of I don't know what kind of birds those were.
Those seagulls or
I
something?
thought those, but I don't know why I thought seagulls were bigger than that.
Let me. No, they're not seagulls. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, the little white birds y'all see by the beach.
Yeah, not doves, but yeah,
I said by the beach.
there were a lot of them,
No, that's
and
a seagull. I'm looking.
um, and we weren't supposed to bring. Yeah, yeah, we weren't supposed to bring food on the beach, because they was freaking out and trying to get the food and stuff. Steven snuck a couple burgers over.
Because
Those
he was
burgers were
lazy.
those burgers were good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were very good. Then we got back on the ship. I don't know if we went to a show or anything that night. The days are getting a little blurry now.
But we went to some dance show.
And uh, well, I like being transparent, but certain things maybe you shouldn't be. I don't
Yeah,
know.
thank you. Uh, you really enjoyed food.
Yeah, yeah. The and the and I put this in great detail in the survey after we
Good.
got off the cruise.
I'll be honest. I stopped. It wouldn't let me go past a certain screen. And I gave up. I said, whatever.
We had phenomenal waiters and waitresses and people that worked on the ship. Shout out if you are on the Independence of the Seas for Royal Caribbean. Shout out to Red Juan and Chops Grill, Ferdinand in Chops Grill, Latoya who worked in the Windjammer, which was like the main cafeteria. Uh, and those are the only three names I could think of when I was doing the survey, and I feel like I was forgetting somebody.
Well, you got the lady at Giovanni's. I don't remember her name.
Oh yeah, I don't remember her name.
Yeah.
But how would you say overall on a scale? Let's do this on overall 1 to 10 for the whole week. How was the food? 1 to 10, not just one particular night or whatever. Just overall.
8.
I'd say that's fair. Yeah, yeah. I think if I were to,
I just had one bad night.
yeah, at Chops Grill, Steven didn't like his steak. You didn't like.
It was not a good night. And
Yeah,
it was their busiest night, but it just was not a good night.
yeah. There was a wedding on the ship, and they might not have gotten married, but there was like a bridal party or whatever, or a wedding party that was on the ship. And right before we went to Chops Grill on this particular night, they had all come in there and just messed Rit One and Ferdinand all them up. But
what would you rate the food?
I would say about an 8 too. What I actually, you might be shocked by this. If I were to go again, I would actually eat in the Windjammer a little more.
Oh, see, y'all, Michael was one. I understood your reasoning. We paid for the specialty, so let's use the specialty. But I wanted Micah to experience everything, so I wanted you to go to the Windjammer. We didn't even go to the main dining room. We didn't do that. So it's cool, yes, that you bought the specialty and you're like, I'm gonna get my money's worth. But it's also good to experience eating with everyone. Or just seeing it's different.
Yeah, there's definitely a different vibe. Like on when I went for breakfast in the Windjammer on Saturday morning, man, and that was the last day.
Yeah.
But it was that wasn't. Yes, it was. That was Saturday morning. It was so chaotic. It was just beyond chaotic. One of the mornings we had breakfast brought to the room. I don't think we placed the order correctly because they brought all kind of
extras.
Yeah, more than what we needed. I just think we didn't order correctly. But I would say about an 8 is good. Now I'll say this. I never had the Chops Grill macaroni and cheese was bussing. Oh my.
It was good.
Yes. But I didn't have any bad food experiences like Steven did that one.
It was just
particular
one.
time.
It was just one steak that wasn't good. But yeah.
How about let's just say cleanliness of both the room and the ship in general?
It was very clean.
Yeah. Yeah. Staff, you say 1 to 10.
9.
Yeah, I was just about to say 9. I wouldn't give a 10, but I say 9.
Yeah, it
So
was good.
Wednesday was a C day.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get off the ship on Wednesday. Thursday. Now,
Cozumel and Tulum.
yes. Now, for those who don't know, you remain on what they call ship time the
Mm-hmm.
entire time, like the entire week. And
Yeah.
so, whether you're on the ship or not, regardless of what time zone you're in, the ship is going based off of ship time, which
Mm-hmm.
our ship time was Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we were in Mexico, we were in Central time, which is,
Mm-hmm.
because of where we were, but the ship was still operating off of Eastern time.
Yeah.
So I set an alarm to wake up because we had to go to do stuff for this excursion to go to Mexico. So we had to get up early on that day.
Mm-hmm.
I set an alarm and not realizing my alarm was going based off of Central time and not Eastern time. And
Mm-hmm.
Steven was like, we need to get up. And then we both realized it was like, oh, snap. We don't have that much time. We
Yeah.
was mixed up. But it was all good. We made it to the Royal Theater where everybody had to meet and
Mm-hmm.
then tell them about um when we got to off the ship and we had to walk to this ferry.
Mm-hmm. It was a speedboat. It wasn't no ferry
Yes,
to
it
take
was
you
just a
from
big
Cozumel to
speedboat.
Tulum. Cozumel is on an island. Tulum is on the mainland of Mexico. It was a very fast boat, and I'm happy I didn't have breakfast that morning. I
The
don't know.
whole week
I'm shocked people didn't throw up on that boat.
I tried to go to sleep.
Mm.
The whole week I didn't have motion sickness. But that ferry, and it was much, and I don't know why I was thinking it was gonna be shorter.
They
In my
said
mind,
45 minutes.
I'm thinking we just gotta go from here over across, and it was just gonna be
Mhm.
5 minutes. Man,
Imagine how long it would be if we weren't going that fast. Whew.
man,
Yeah.
get into Mexico.
I like how you
We
talking with
walking.
food in your mouth.
I'm hungry. Walking through the streets of Mexico. Oh, I forgot all about this. When we get there, they separate you based on your excursion.
Hmm.
All right.
We thought we saw the right sign.
Because they would just had tour guides holding up signs saying what your excursion was.
Hmm.
Ours was Tulum something. So there
Hmm.
was a guy who his thing said Tulum something. Okay.
Hmm.
We walked to the buses, get on the van with these people. We on the van talking to the people. Nice 69-year-old white woman and her
Well,
husband.
like you just came up with an age. Just say nice older couple.
No, she was 69 because remember
Oh
she
yeah,
was
yeah.
telling us about
They
she was
said they do a trip every year for all the kids and grandkids. They pay for it, and sometimes she
Mhm.
surprised them on what it is, and yada yada yada. They went on a different excursion, and she felt some type of way because the excursion they did, you couldn't been older than 65.
Mhm.
And she said she was 69. Yeah, so nice people. Our tour guide was really nice. Antonio,
Jesus.
no, Antonio was the original tour
Oh
guide.
yeah. Antonio.
So we do the tour. We get to the Mayan ruins in Tulum. We'll go to the market, doing the tour. He's very good. And as we get to the ruins, like the main part, we have earpieces in so we can hear the tour guide. And he gets on the phone and
Yeah, his phone rings. Somebody
yeah,
call him.
and you could tell something is wrong. And he gets on the phone and says, "Is everyone on the right tour?" And so, of course, everybody says yes. Now,
Yeah, we all like, yeah.
keep in mind, on the bus ride,
Mm.
he said, "Okay, we're going to do the Mayan ruins, and then you're going to get back in the bus, and we're going to go to swim in some cave or something."
Yeah, he told
And
we gonna go swimming.
me and
He
Mike
ain't
kind
sleep.
of looked at her like, swimming? We ain't signed up for swimming. He keeps talking about bats in the cave and yada yada yada. The water's really cold, blah blah blah. So we just ignore it. 'Cause we're like, well, and everyone, to be clear, everyone in the group didn't have on swim clothes. So I'm like,
Mm.
well, maybe I don't know what he's talking about. So and then so he gets a phone call. He gets off the phone and says, "Is everyone on Tulum and then he said this S word that I didn't know. And I didn't see that S word on the sign, but the S word is where they went to swim. And so everybody was like, yeah. And then I literally lean over to Micah and say, watch, they say, Stephen Dial, you are on the wrong tour.
Mm-hmm.
He gets back on the phone and he gets a picture texted to him. And it's me and Micah's ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, Stephen,
Mm-hmm.
I raised my hand. Me and Micah were in the wrong tour group
Mm-hmm.
of the Mayan ruins. How embarrassing. But the people in the group weren't that mad. He was like, well, do you want to stay with us or do you want to go with your tour guide? And I'm like, whatever doesn't delay everybody else. And one of the guys in
That's
the group was like, well,
exactly
they're
what you
with us
said.
now. Huh?
I said that's exactly what you said.
Yeah. I said, well, whatever, doesn't delay everybody else. Cause that clearly we're in the wrong. And then one guy was like, well, they've been with us. And so he said, okay, blah, blah, blah. In an hour, you'll meet your tour guide. So that was a little embarrassing.
And what it ended up allowing us to do, because the tour we were originally supposed to be on was really kind of running like an hour behind our tour. And so we
Mhm.
got to stay in Tulum an extra hour because
Yeah.
we ended up being with the people we were supposed to be with. And that
Yeah.
tour guide name was Jesus. We ate
Yeah.
some I guess those were
Tacos.
tacos that
What do
we
you mean
ate.
you guess? Yes, they're tacos.
Well, I guess I guess the reason I say I guess is
That's what
because
street
one,
tacos look like. You're used to Taco Bell.
right. That's what I was about to say. One, I'm not a big taco fan. That's one. Definitely not normally a big soft taco fan. But I think the reason why I was like, are these real tacos? Because but yeah, those were real tacos. And because he kept saying that we got like handmade tortillas and all this other kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But it was cool. It was good.
Mhm. Yeah.
Man, the vendors, the people trying to sell stuff were getting on Steven's last nerve.
Yeah. I understand, they try to make their money and stuff. I just and it reminded me of when I went to Africa. It's just, it's aggressive, it's annoying because you want to, you don't want to be mean. You're in their country. They're trying to sell you stuff. But it's hot. We're walking a lot. And it's kind of like
Mhm,
everything we walk by, come here, come see this, come see this. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay.
mhm,
Thank you. We're good.
mm,
Um, yeah.
mm.
So we bought some stuff.
They had
What
a
you about to say?
whole lot of professional NFL teams, like
That's a tourist trap.
yeah, but in my mind it's like, why would I want to come to Mexico buy something with the Falcons on it? That's kind of how I was thinking. Like,
Well, I went to Africa. I mean, you didn't say bulls, but when I went to Africa, I bought carvings of, I mean, it had 23. It's supposed to be like Michael Jordan, Duncan.
oh, because didn't it have like a basketball and him?
Yeah.
I wonder where that is. I remember that.
It's in the old house. It should be in the closet.
Oh, it might be.
Well, when you
Mm.
find it, give it to me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it was just, but everyone was nice. It's always fun seeing different cultures. Um,
Well,
Micah took some pesos out. The ATM was balling for a minute.
you know what?
He should have kept one.
And I said I wasn't even gonna say nothing about this. I'm mad at that man.
What happened? What'd you get charged?
He tricked us.
He ain't tricked me. I ain't pay for it. What you pay more than you supposed to?
Yeah. Look, the original price was $250. Okay.
American.
Yes.
Was it?
I told, huh?
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
told
thought it was
him
150.
no. I told him 175.
hmm
He said 200.
Okay.
I said 190. End up, because I wasn't originally paying cash, he said because of the card, it was going to be a processing fee or whatever. So we agreed on 200.
Okay.
Okay. But then there was issue, whatever. He was like, well, it would just be better if you just go get the pesos out the
hmm
ATM.
hmm
All right. In the moment, even though our tour guide told us the conversion rate,
Yeah.
in the moment, I wasn't thinking about it. I was trusting the guy. So when he said get 4,500 pesos out, when I looked back at my thing, it was $260. I said he
Well,
gave
what was the processing fee?
the processing fee came out separate, like on my bank
So
statement.
4,500 pesos, and they said pesos were what, 20?
17 at that place. It was
17.5.
supposed to be. It was 17.5 at that place. When we went to the other city, it was 20, but there it was 17.5.
That's $257.
Yeah,
Oh wow! So he
he
went back to the
charged me
original
the
price.
yes.
Wow.
I
Well, we
because
were
I guess
kind of
he like
rushing. We were rushing because we thought we had to go.
hmm
Wow.
hmm So
Wow.
he like, oh, they don't know the
Yeah.
conversion rate.
And I don't do math, man. I know that's bad to say, but dang, really? So you
I
paid
was so
full
mad when I
price.
saw that.
Wow. How much was the processing?
That time I think it was $10.
Oof. God.
But I was very upset when I looked at that. I said he
Man.
charged me the original price.
Wow.
He didn't
Well,
have to do that.
you got it. I guess that was on you. And you a money guy. Like,
I just trusted him.
yeah.
Cause I'm like, we had this whole conversation, and then it's like, okay, we agreed on the price.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I much rather you had stuck to the original 250, and either I was gonna pay it or I wasn't.
Oof. Well,
Like you ain't have to do
you
that.
better use that thing you bought every day.
I'm so mad. Excuse me. You remember the replica of the ship?
I know
I
you
never
went to
went
buy
back
it.
and bought it.
I know. You can buy them online. But yeah. And then we met a monkey. I forgot what you
Hmm
call those little monkeys. Look,
He was
I
so
don't know why I
soft.
was nervous because the first place we went to buy souvenirs, the card reader wouldn't work because they didn't have a signal. And so when we were paying for the monkey, I was like, I hope this card goes through.
He said, "You don't have Apple Pay."
I was like, oh, okay. And then I didn't know, like another time where you kind of rushed and because he said the amount, but I didn't factor how much that actually was going to be. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So
Hmm
I mean, they know you get in them situations where you're like, okay, just do it. The
hmm
monkey was nice.
hmm
We never found out what his name was.
I was just amazed at how soft he was,
Hmm. He
and
was
he
giving
even,
him sunflower seeds.
yeah. Was he eating them? Because I wasn't seeing him eat them.
Yeah. He cracked it open.
Oh, because when I handed it to him, I saw him take it from me, but then I guess I wasn't looking at him no more. All
Yeah.
that was in Mexico.
Hmm.
Um,
A lot of walking. A lot of walking. Lot of walking.
yeah, because then when we went to Playa de Carmen,
Yeah.
it was more walking, and
Mhm.
we
Walking and waiting.
yeah, then waiting on Jesus, but
He talking about be right here, aquí.
hmm and he was not Aki.
Right.
mm
Then you in the chapel for the
mm
patron saint Del Carmen.
mm.
We saw some people praying.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool. Mexico was cool, and
Hmm.
then
The
ship day
boat
on
ride back.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talk about Saturday, and then we're gonna shift to the current event. Steven and I originally, what time were you originally supposed to land
My
in
flight was
Dallas?
always my flight was supposed to land at 9.
Mm. I
Yeah.
was supposed to land in Atlanta at 8 something. I was supposed to leave Miami at 6 something. My original
Mhm.
flight.
Yeah.
Friday night, Steven said something along the lines of, "Well, I wonder, can I change my flight?" He was talking about himself to be earlier because we was gonna be waiting in the airport all day long. And I
All
said, "Oh,
day.
I ain't think about that." I said, "Well, let me see if I can change mine."
Hmm.
Long story short, Steven wasn't able to change his. I was able to change mine to an earlier time.
Hmm.
Cool. So we go to the airport. Here's where they ticked me off. Number one, because I was checking a bag. I went and I printed out my own bag tag. I put it
Hmm.
on my bag. I get in line. There's a gentleman. He looks at my bag tag. He says, you need to come back in an hour and a half.
You were there too early. Yeah.
I said,
I didn't think
come
about that.
back in an hour and a half. I said, where I'm supposed to go?
To
And
wait.
he said, well, because there was no seating. He said, well, you see all the people sitting on the floor. He's like, you can sit on the floor or you can stand. And I'm like, whatever, man.
That is true. I
So,
didn't think about that. You were too early. Hey, you didn't want your bag get lost. You were there too early.
but
I
okay.
mean, think about it. Your flight was 2:00. We got there
He
at
said I had to be there within
9:30.
he said they only started accepting them 3 hours
We got there
ahead.
at 10. We got there at 10.
So, he wouldn't let me come till 11:30
Mhm.
to give them the bag. So, what was I about to say about that? He dang.
So you waited. What you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I had no choice. So I'm waiting. While I'm waiting, I see a rather large gentleman come into the airport.
Mhm.
I look at him and I say in my head, I said, he look like Bruce Bruce.
Mhm.
Then he turns and I could see on his face that he was Bruce Bruce, but his shirt said Bruce Bruce. And I was like, oh my God, that's Bruce Bruce. But, I ain't want to be one of them people and I didn't want to bother him. And he looked
Mhm.
like he didn't want to be bothered. And so I was just like, I'm not going to worry about it
Mhm.
because he was there with a lot of his family. So finally, I'm able to check my bag. What I was going to say about that was in Atlanta, I ain't had a problem. They took my
Mhm.
bag, but they just put it on another flight. But
Okay, but you didn't get to Atlanta 6 hours before your flight either. Well, it wasn't 6 hours. You got there like 4 hours. But okay.
still, I think it was more than 3.
Mhm.
It had to be. So go through security, finally end up at my gate, and I see a woman who I believe is Bruce Bruce's sister. Long story short, I asked her, I said, is Bruce Bruce gonna be on this flight? And she said, yeah. She said, you want to meet him? Blah, 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 blah. Either way, ended up meeting Bruce Bruce. He was very,
Mhm.
very nice. His whole family was nice. 100% genuine person and family. They were great. Great. Because, sometimes people say you meet
Yeah.
celebrities and they be buttholes.
Mhm.
But he and his family were extremely down to earth, extremely nice. He was a joker. Obviously, he's a comedian. And so initially, whenever he would talk to somebody, for those who didn't know who he was, you might have thought he was being mean, but really
Mhm.
he was being funny. Because at one point we had to switch gates, had to switch planes, it was horrible. We had to switch gates, and when he walked over, there wasn't a seat, and his sister, I believe it was his sister, she said there was a seat next to her that was open, and she said, "You want to come sit down?" And he said, "No, I'm a bully." He said, "I'll just make somebody get up." But if you know how big he is,
Mhm.
the way he said it, I'm saying for people who didn't know who he was, it was probably intimidating. It was like, oh hell, you know. But then he laughed. Like he was super, super cool.
What did
And
you say when they said so y'all were initially waiting on a part to be flown on a plane from Atlanta to Miami?
yeah,
What
it
did
was
you say he
crazy.
said? He said
He
something.
said, yeah, Bruce Bruce said, he said, the plane that we were supposed to be getting on originally, he said, this plane just left Atlanta. We're trying to go to Atlanta. It needs a part that's in Atlanta. So they about to put it on a flight from Atlanta to here to fix this plane for us to get back to Atlanta. It was like all this Atlanta. Like, what is like, oh my God. All for in the end, us to not even get on that plane, and they gave us another plane. And everybody was like, they could have done this from the beginning. And I
Mm.
don't have time to get into more stuff that happened at the airport. It was a pleasant wait. It was very frustrating, but it was pleasant. Bruce Bruce and other people that I met, it was funny.
And my
But
flight was delayed, and I flew American, so we were on 2 different airlines, and both had delays.
look, now for all y'all who was coming for me a few months ago about, oh, you flying Spirit, you flying Frontier, I ain't have not damn problem like that at
That
all
was
with either of
one.
them.
That was once. You hadn't had a
Now,
problem like that on Delta either.
I haven't flown on a Delta flight since I was probably in high school.
Okay. Well,
I
yeah.
said, man. So now I'm waiting for the response about getting my refund.
Yeah, I need to complain to America. I should have immediately complained. But I think American only gives you if your delay is 4 hours or longer. My delay was 2.5 hours, I think. So I don't think I get anything.
Then I was mad. I got hungry. I asked the nice lady next to me. I said, "Will you save my seat?" Because I had an amazing seat in the airport. I said, "Will you save my seat?" Now, y'all, Steven is the one seeming uninterested today. Y'all be talking about me. Um, I said, "Will you save my seat? Because I'm hungry. I need to get something to eat." Go get something from Nathan's. Soon as I finished paying, I look down and get a text message from Delta. They said, "Here is a meal voucher for you for your, you know." I said, "Well, I'd be doggone." They it came and that happened to a lot of people that
Mm-hmm.
we got the voucher after we bought our food. And the voucher was only good for that day. And so it's like,
Yeah.
y'all bugging.
I would have got up and got something else.
Yeah, the lady next to me was telling another lady, she said, "Well, I'm not hungry." She said, oh, I can't say what she said, but she said, "Girl, if you don't get your butt up and go get that free food."
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So overall, what would you rate your cruise experience?
9.
That's
A
good.
9. I think it's very difficult to give anything a 10, but
Yeah.
a 9 for sure. I'd
Yeah.
definitely do it again. Perhaps
Yeah.
even a longer one.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah. So and we this is not gonna show up well, so you probably got to show it. But my birthday is Friday. Micah bought pictures and
Mhm.
that was the I don't know if it's in the shop, but
Oh, your
whatever.
birthday this Friday, ain't it? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Mm. Yep. But we
Uh,
told them it was his birthday, and they brought him with the "Happy Birthday, Steven" on it. It was cool. It was a really fun trip.
all
Really
right.
fun
So
trip.
into some a few current events. We're not going to harp on this. One, the former president survived an assassination attempt. He was shot in the ear. The RNC started on Monday. So coming off of the drama from the weekend, so what's crazy is dealing with the delays. I was at the airport, and the news person and me, one, I was pissed because Miami's airport doesn't have chargers on the seats, so my phones are dying, like dying. And then the guy across from me on the plane to Texas said, Trump just got shot. And I'm like, dude's probably exaggerating. He probably didn't get shot. Like, you hear people, everyone doesn't get their news from reputable sources. So I'm like, whatever. Then I get a text message. Did you see what just happened? I'm like, okay, maybe there's something to this. So then I'm looking on YouTube. I see the video, blah, blah, blah. I sent it to Micah and my mom. And so I'm tweeting and stuff. My phone's dying. I find a charger port on one of the little poles in front of a vending machine. So I'll plug into that. I'm tweeting since I'm delayed. So all that happened this weekend. And then you head into the convention. Trump names freshman
Wait,
senator.
remember that judge dismissed his
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff in Florida?
Now, this still got to go through appeal, but we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, so his documents case, classified documents case, got dismissed as of right now. He names freshman Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio as his running mate. It's funny because I didn't notice this. Some people were just writing over the Pence. It's just two words, Vance, V-A over the P-E. NCE is already there. So just that JD Vance in 2016 was a very outspoken critic of Donald Trump. He called him American Hitler. He said that he was an idiot. Said a lot of things. So now JD Vance is going to have to defend his flip flop. He said on Fox News recently, he said, I was wrong. He blamed the media for the narrative of why he thought Trump was bad. JD Vance is a Yale graduate, veteran. He's smart enough to not only listen to the media, but whatever. So he's going to be defending that. But he said that he made a mistake, and Trump wasn't, in his words, he wasn't a good president. He was a great president. So, what are your thoughts of what's transpired politically in the last couple of days?
Going back to the assassination attempt,
Mm.
and I'm not a big conspiracy theorist like some people are. This morning I was trying to stomach watching Candace Owens talk about it.
I saw
Um,
her talk about the women uh, Secret Service people. Did you see her talk about that?
mm,
She was saying men should protect men. She was mad that there were multiple women on the security detail. And one is being criticized because she was just panicked. On the mic, you could hear her say, "What are we doing?" She didn't know what she was doing. She kept trying to holster her gun when they finally got Trump into the vehicle and she couldn't. She just looked very frazzled. I understand the criticism of that person. But Candace Owens and some others are saying, "Oh, why did Trump have so many women?" Which, okay. But go ahead.
for me, it's very difficult to believe in 2024 that a former president who, at least in the mind of a whole lot of people, is likely to be the next president
Mhm.
can walk outside and get shot.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
No,
hard.
it was a complete failure. The Secret Service is going to, regardless of if that task was divvied up to local law enforcement, Secret Service is going to have to own up to their mistake. There's no way in. I don't understand how this wasn't like downtown Atlanta or somewhere where there's a lot of buildings. This was a
Mm-mm.
field with a couple of buildings, and y'all had one roof covered. How 130 yards away do you not have a roof covered? Which I don't understand. Two, before the shooting, people are saying
Mm,
there's a guy crawling on the roof. So it's a
mhm.
complete failure from a protection standpoint. Complete failure. Like regardless if y'all think conspiracy, whatever, if you think he really got shot or not, if he was grazed, whatever, that's a whole different conversation. The fact that a former president, like you said, the likely next president, how did someone get on a roof 130 yards away? That makes no sense. And then this is being taped on Tuesday. More information is going to come out because I think I saw yesterday, but I don't remember what source it was from. They said the people assigned, the snipers or whatever assigned to that building were in the building, not on the roof. I don't know if they were taking a break or what, but the people who were supposed to be on the roof were in the building.
And I saw some stuff that said that they probably thought that the area was secure and that the snipers that we see in the videos and stuff, that their purpose was to look beyond all those buildings and stuff, to look further, that they weren't thinking. But to me, there are multiple videos that you can see of people, like you said,
Yeah.
for I know one thing I said, it was like for 50 seconds something, literally telling the police, look, there's a
Yeah.
man crawling on the top of this
Yeah.
building. It
And one of the guys who recorded the video, he said he thinks the cop couldn't see because where they were standing, you couldn't see the roof. Like you can,
mm,
but it was just complete failure. It's complete failure, regardless of your politics.
yeah.
That was just terrible. Um,
But to like some of like conspiracy theory type stuff, it it would make you think
yeah,
who who allowed this, because that just should
yeah.
not happen. That just shouldn't happen.
And
How in the
well,
world?
one thing that I understand people are going to ask a lot of questions about this. One thing that shocked me, especially, I mean, while yes, we are kind of desensitized to shootings and they happen a lot. Uh, if I'm at an event where
There wasn't a
a,
reaction.
a former president is being shot at, regardless, you didn't see people running.
Yeah,
That was what was weird to me. Like, and yeah, you're taught to get down, but your natural impulse for some people is going to be to run.
yeah.
Um, it was some people who didn't even get down.
You know what I'm saying? There
Um,
there wasn't a reaction. It
Yeah. So that
mm,
was weird. And then, some people said, oh, it just sounded like a firework or it sounded just like a balloon popping, which, like I said, we're so desensitized to violence kind of that, like I've been at a crime scene where the second I got out of the car, I heard a gunshot and I didn't flinch because you're just so used to certain things. But it was just weird that, okay, those people still saw the Secret Service swarm and cover the president. In my mind, they ain't jumping over me. So
yeah.
you didn't see anyone like it wasn't as frantic as some people described it. Like
Mm.
I've watched that video a million times.
Even the
It
after
just, yeah,
I was watching a former Secret Service agent who was on one of these networks or something. He was explaining it, and he said that what he was very critical of the agents who were there, and he said that they did not follow their training because according to him, he's a former Secret Service agent. He said the moment they realized that Trump, this iconic picture that everybody keeps showing, he said that that picture should have never even been able to have been possible. He said the second that they realized Trump could stand up, they should have been running off
yeah,
the stage.
yeah.
He said that that moment that they just
He
standing
he
there.
told them to wait.
But like they said, because even the guy, he said you could hear Trump say, "Let me get my shoe."
Hmm.
The former Secret Service, he said, "Forget his shoe.
Yeah,
You need to get him off the stage." He said
yeah.
because the way he said they trained, he said, "What if
It
those
was
shots
something else.
were?" Right. He
Yeah,
said, "What if those shots were just a distraction
yeah,
and somebody else about to shoot you?"
yeah,
So it's like it was just a lot that was sloppy, and
yeah.
it's
And that's why. And part of and I do not condone a lot of what she said. Part of the commentary from Candace Owens and some others were saying, like, as you saw, like the guys are trying to. I mean, they were supposed to cover the president,
Mhm.
and so on one side you have a woman who's clearly shorter than the president, and
Mhm.
not saying everybody got to be 6'5" because the president's 6'2". No, um, but some people are saying, okay, he was vulnerable to that side because the person was shorter. Yeah, it was just a lot of things that, I mean, there's gonna be multiple investigations from this. It was, yeah. It just was weird to me that you didn't see. And my OG reporter, Sean Rapp here, has told me on multiple occasions, not presidentially, just in general, you don't know how you would react. And
Mhm.
so I'm just used to, I mean, it's a natural reaction for people to run. But
Mhm.
you also don't know how you would react in that situation. You might hit the ground and stay down, and
But
not
just
run.
think, when he's doing the whole fist pump and telling them to fight and everything, like
Mhm.
you said, in a normal shooting experience,
People ain't paying no attention to that. Yeah,
right? Ain't nobody
yeah.
just still standing around saying, "Yeah." Like,
Mhm.
no, that's so it was just a lot weird about that.
Yeah,
And the fact, what a coincidence that it happened right before the Republican National Convention. It's
yeah.
like, mm, it's mm, mm. It
Well, we're
reminded
not
me of,
we're not going to make any assumptions. We're just
yeah.
gonna go with the facts.
Yeah. Now, cause see,
Go with
like
the
how
facts.
Candace Owens, she's saying the FBI did it because she said something like the FBI now saying that they can't access his phone. But she brought up something that made me think about our trip. She was trying to make a point in saying, how can't they? And I don't even know if this is true, but she's saying, how can't they access his phone?
They
But
will access his phone. They flew it to DC.
how can this is what she said. How can she say, "Ooh, I like that pair of jeans," and then she look on her phone and she sees the pair of jeans? But
Mhm.
here was the other thing she said that I was like, me and Steven was just talking about this. She said, "You go through the airport now, and they don't even ask you for, like, I didn't ask for a passport. They scanned your face." So,
Mhm.
so she was just trying to say, how can you do all that? But well, either way,
No, they are able to get into his phone. They are incidents like that. They fly it to Quantico or whatever. They fly it somewhere. Um, yeah. So we're just gonna go with the facts. We're not gonna assume anything.
have you seen any of the images that show what the impact of the bullet would have been if he had not turned his head?
Mhm.
And literally today we could be talking about Donald Trump having gotten killed over the weekend. That
Yeah.
would have been crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd been crazy. But I mean, I'm glad that he didn't get hurt. I don't think. But one thing I will say, um, this is definitely helping him.
Oh yeah. I
And he's
mean,
gonna milk
politically,
this.
I mean, look, he's been surging since the debate, and it hasn't even been a month. You got the debate performance where Joe Biden did terrible. Then you just, have fractions in the Democratic Party now of people wanting Joe Biden to step down. Then you have an
Mhm,
assassination attempt on your life, regardless if you think it was whatever it was. He got grazed in the ear.
mhm,
Um, Heading to your convention where you get overwhelmingly nominated. You select a 39-year-old guy who could be the next vice president. I mean, it only helps him. And then what hurts Joe Biden is kind of damned you, damned if you don't. Like all this unity stuff that both sides are preaching, that's going to fade away in like 48 hours. But then Joe Biden is being criticized for past comments that he said, and yada yada. So he's just, for lack of better words, taking hits from all angles. So yeah, this things don't look good for Joe Biden, and it won't look good for Democrats down ballot. But as a lot of people in politics say, it is only July. Between now and November is an eternity in politics. So
Donald Trump literally now can add to all his stuff. I have been shot.
yeah.
Man. And
Hasn't happened
Buddy,
since Ronald Reagan in '81.
Buddy was trying to shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Well, we'll have plenty more to talk about next week. Thank you, guys. Oh, go ahead.
I want to see a debate between Kamala and JD.
I think she extended I think she said she's down, or I don't know. He ignored her phone call. He declined her phone call. So I don't know what, but they'll probably have a debate. She called to congratulate him. Just like President Biden called the family of the person who died, and they declined to talk to him. But Trump has not called as of Tuesday morning.
See, that's crazy. It's a sad day in America that we I bet you he won't have no more outdoor rallies.
Yes, he will.
Well, and I know that, kind of like with Biden and the inauguration, it's like, okay, well, you can't let fear stop you, whatever. I wouldn't. I would. One,
don't you think it's going to be the safest place in America when he has his next rally?
Yeah, but if y'all screwed up once, I don't
he's
trust
doing
you.
it to show strength.
I know, I get it, but I don't trust. If I was him at this point, I would tell the Secret Service, I don't trust y'all, because how in the hell did I get shot? Like, what? No, I don't trust y'all at all.
No, I guarantee you, he'll be outside.
Like, oh no. Now, back to your original point, we out in a field.
Yeah, it wasn't a area. Yeah.
That's man. Then you see that they giving Kennedy a Secret Service detail until the election's over.
Yeah.
It's like, ain't nobody trying to kill him, man. He can literally come just walk through any mall and don't nobody care nothing about that man.
Don't say that. Someone cares about him.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching 24th episode of the Dialed In Show. Make sure to like, share, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Next week, episode 25. You're not gonna say nothing?
No, I'm crashing now.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed our cruise experience, and we will talk to you same time, same place next week.